let's talk about censorship. Most of all and important, let's talk about censorship or perceived censorship on YouTube. Yep, it's been exploding over the last few weeks. Some YouTubers are getting demonetized, quite a lot. Big YouTubers are getting demonetized. And the whole website seems to be going apeshit crazy over this. So, let's have a look at it. First time I came across this was about a week or so ago, when Mr. Veeck Sean uploaded a video saying he was being demonetized because of his content. And they gave him a list, via email, they gave him a list of videos that they decided to demonetize because they claimed it wasn't advertiser friendly. However, some of these subjects were on some really deep subjects, and it was about depression, it was about his life in general. It was what social media was made for. However, Mr. Veeck Sean is well known for debunking religious people, SJWs, and people he doesn't really like and agree with the opinion on. And there was one story in particular about a girl who had abused the cab driver because he had a hula girl on his dashboard. So as an editing decision, I've decided to put the footage in so you can actually see, and it's going to come in here.
You thought that was adorable. You didn't think about the pillaging of the continent of Hawaii.
I didn't even know there was pillaging.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Okay, so you won't get rid of the doll then, because that was really cute thing that you found at Goodwill.
No, I'm not gonna not get rid of it because of that. I just didn't realize it was offensive anyway.
But so obviously, you as a white male, you were the least
But now you're judging me. You're assuming where I'm from.
No, I'm not. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying that perhaps you might be the person who is least hurt in this situation.
And that was a day or so before he got this email. Then he got the email. However, and this is where most people saying YouTube are censoring people. Philip DeFranco, who is some golden child on this website, covered the same story, and then some of his videos got demonetized. So the skeptic community blew up on this, and different YouTubers, different skeptics, posted their responses.
We've come to the point where we are legitimately seeing conservatives censored from social media for their perspectives. Now, not being conservative, it shouldn't bother me, but I'm also the wrong kind of liberal. So this is starting to affect everyone.
There are members of the skeptic community who believe that YouTube is censoring them because they don't agree with this regressive left. That social media platforms are becoming more and more regressive left-wing. The thing is, have they really got a point, or are they trying to create a massive hoo-ha over nothing? I think when they're on to the SJW subjects and the anti-SJW subjects, I really think that there isn't a case and point for them to this. Sorry, I don't think these people are getting banned for being anti-SJW, for being anti-left. What I do think though is they are getting banned because people don't like what they're saying. And we're just not talking about left-wing people, we're talking about people across the spectrum. Because these guys are not the only people who are being demonetized. Leafy is here has had a video up yesterday or the day before saying that YouTube are trying to cut down his content and demonetize a few of his videos, and what Leafy says can be considered cyberbullying, and there are plenty of other YouTubers in this genre. However, people won't like this, so I do believe YouTube is trying to stop people from cyberbullying people, and they're trying to keep some people's opinions and feelings nice and not hurt. However, there seems to be a second element to this, and this is where it becomes a bit, I wouldn't say sleazy, but not right. YouTube are saying that this is mainly due to they want advertiser friendly content, whatever that is. Advertisers do not want to be associated with certain people and certain brands on YouTube. So that means YouTube are censoring people so they can get advertisers' money. This ends up being corporate censorship. Let's call it corporate censorship. Someone will probably tell me that it's not corporate censorship, but for me this is the corporations trying to shut up so they can give money and expand their brand. However, YouTube has videos like this, which I will show you now, on their website. So I'm using this Durex advert as a prime example of what can only be described as hypocrisy from both the advertisers and from YouTube. That advert was supposedly banned, but all I had to do was put in Durex advert into the search bar, and there we go. First one that came up, ban Durex advert, and that. Right, so advertisers don't want to be associated with that. Want to be associated with controversial views, but they'll be happy to be on a website where you can put in the words Durex advert and banned adverts come on. Can you see where the hypocrisy is? Then it kind of gets worse, because then we have to talk about profits and freedom of speech, which is really the major thing about this whole censorship subject. So let's face it, YouTube's money comes from adverts. We get them at the sort of monetized videos, we see them in the corner, we see them all across this website. And supposedly the profits generated from YouTube is very little for what Google actually makes throughout a mass amount of time. Per financial year, it only makes like 2% of Google's profit. But that profit had been dropping or something. Because people didn't want to be associated with certain subjects, certain content. So these new advertising rules that came into place last year was there to help YouTube's profits grow back to what it supposedly should be at, according to Google. But let's just point out this thing now that needs to be important. YouTube is the third most popular social network in the world. I'm guessing the first two are Snapchat and Facebook, so quickly followed by YouTube. So let's face it, if X amount of people have got monetization and getting money from ad revenues, etc, YouTube is probably still raking in a lot of money. But that still doesn't stop the censorship, because advertisers were moving away. So they brought in these new rules. And these new rules came in place last year. However, people are only being made aware of it now. So they've been doing it on the sly. Some people think some of the software coding went wrong and the bots or whatever started demonetizing the wrong ones, so they had to start sending out emails. So they've done it on the sly for a year, but now they've had to come clean because it's messed up. So at this point, let's just remember that they're censoring us, they're censoring content controversial, what people seem call controversial content makers, for profit and greed. Okay, now we have to talk about freedom of speech. And this is a really massive subject. For me, the whole point of social media is for freedom of speech. The whole point of social media is to say what you want and create discourse between people. So if you can say something, I don't like your idea, and we can talk about it. We can make response videos. We can do this. We can leave comments. We can leave nasty comments. We can leave nice comments. As long as we agree in a safe environment that it won't get too out of hand, we can say what we want, because social media is freedom of speech. However, when you have big corporations and social networks lowering the monetizations, removing monetizations from videos, your freedom of speech is being stopped. We are being censored for corporate greed. One of our goddamn human rights is being stopped and censored for corporate profit. Now, YouTube is a private company. It's a part of Google. It can do what it likes. But they're going to have a giant problem if they start stopping people from saying what they want. If people realize that they're going to get demonetized, or they cannot say what they want, they will move over to a new platform. And it will become an echo chamber of certain people. It will turn into Tumblr. And I don't go on Tumblr because I know what it's going to be like. I have been on Tumblr, but I refuse to go on now because I know what it's going to be like. So that's my thoughts on the monetization, the demonetization and the censorship of YouTube. Anyway, I will see you next time. Peace.